One of the questions that I either hear directly from my sex therapy clients or the students in my online course and coaching program, or is implicit in so much of the things people say and the things people ask is there hope for my sex life? Are we normal? Are we alone in this? Is there actually a way this can get better? Is there hope? And generally the answer is yes. When I think about what does it take to have hope that your sex life could be better, no matter how long it's been a struggle or how stressful it is or how many complicating factors there might be, the hope lies in your relationship itself. If the two of you have friendship and love and goodwill and respect, I believe there is always a way to put together a sex life that can work for the two of you. So it requires that basic love and goodwill. Then there's hope if you have or can develop strong communication skills and teamwork, an ability to collaborate, an ability to choose a goal that is a win win. A lot of the time, when people are struggling with sex, whether it is differences in libido, sexual dysfunction, whatever it is that's causing stress and tension, it can be common to end up polarized. You against me, each of us trying to get our own needs met. And this is creating a lot more friction and disconnection in your relationship than you need. So, one of the ways you reach hope is to see this as the two of you against the problem. It's to create a vision where your sex life is truly working for both people, which I think is the only way a sex life is going to be fulfilling and enjoyable and certainly sustainable over a lifetime together, is it has to be working for both of you. So starting to have more of a vision of what's it going to take for this to be a win-win, for this to be a joyful thing that we're sharing, rather than the focus on am I comfortable or are my needs being met. Another big part of what's going to create hope for anybody's sex life is expanding what we think of as sex and what counts and what's the point of this whole thing anyway. In my view, sex is about sharing pleasure and connection in some ratio, in some combination. It is not what are we doing with particular body parts or who is doing what or what is the outcome of this thing. So much of the stress and pressure, again, is coming from having a more rigid view of sex, a very rigid expectation about what it is, what's supposed to happen, this idea of it is goal oriented. If you have a goal, automatically there's this possibility of failure. And that's what's creating a lot of the stress, tension, despair, and avoidance of sex. So, an ability to get, I don't know, more expansive in how we think about it and what counts and what's the point of this anyway, and less attached to what we wish would happen or what we think is supposed to happen. The other thing that really creates hope is the fact that there are two different kinds of sexual desire. And we tend to only know about one. I talk about this all the time in my program with my clients. There is what I call proactive desire. This is the spontaneous kind that people just feel like hunger, where sex is on your mind, you're horny, you're aroused, you'd like to do this thing. And if that is all we know about and what we expect to feel, then it really seems to be going wrong when someone doesn't feel that. But there's a whole other kind of desire that I call reactive desire. So for this, basically anyone who's not in the mood right now might be able to get in the mood. That's reactive desire. So this is where you're starting potentially with your engine cold, right? 0 RPM. You are not thinking about sex, could be the last thing on your mind. And often you don't even miss it. There's no intrinsic spontaneous drive for this, so you're fine without it. But if you start, if you've moved obstacles out of your way, if your relationship is a good container for intimate connection, and you get the time you need, the touch you need, maybe you end up in your body. Maybe your body wakes up, maybe you end up aroused and look at that. Now I want sex. This is common. This is normal. This is valid. And learning how to access this is a lot of what creates hope, that both people can want sex, that both people can enjoy it, that both people can find it fulfilling, that both people could find this approachable and look forward to it. These elements are really available to everyone who is willing to challenge their thinking and expectation, willing to look at their role in this, willing to honor and value their partner's experience as much as their own. Truly, there is hope for so many people. So I developed a quiz. It's actually called How Big a Problem is My Sex Life? But I could call it Is There Hope for My Sex Life? And it kind of helps you take stock of your situation right now, the degree to which the two of you have stress and pressure and conflict and disconnect in your sex life versus this joyful thing. And the quiz will help you kind of determine where you are right now. How bad is it? How bad does it feel? But the path to hope, I go over this in the results with you. The path towards a fun and easy sex life is the same no matter where you're starting, as long as you have those basic ingredients. So you can go to sexlifequiz.com to take that quiz. And I'd love to hear your thoughts about, could you find some hope? Could I help you find some hope that your sex life could actually be good for both of you?